The gaming community has been blessed with some truly frightening horror games over the past few years, from Silent Hill 2 to Until Dawn to Outlast. There's no shortage of games that will make you want to sleep with the light on and have a knife under your pillow. But 2018 and 2019 seem to be riddled with exciting new terrors, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host Lucy McPhee. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we post a gaming vid. So now that's covered, let's jump into our list of the top 10 scary upcoming video games. In at number 10, Someday You'll Return. Starting off this list, we have an upcoming psychological horror game that takes the player deep into the woods in search of your missing daughter. The trailer indicates that this isn't the first time the protagonist's daughter has run off, and perhaps the relationship between the two is unstable. The trailer goes on to show us some cinematic shots of the landscape and terrain you'll likely face, paired with some frightening spices of unnatural and otherworldly happenings. Not only is it an exploration into the unknown to find your daughter, but it also appears to be a journey of self-discovery for the main protagonist. He must right his wrongs and forgive himself for past incidents. Someday You'll Return is set to be released in 2019.
Please, tell me that she's safe.
Your hysterics aren't helping. Stop calling me.
In at 9, Moons of Madness. Who doesn't want to be an astronaut, right? In Moons of Madness, you take on the role of Shane Newitt, an astronaut dealing with unsettling hallucinations. The game is a combination of exploration and puzzle elements and requires the player to explore a research station called Trailblazer Alpha. Along the way, the player will also be forced to deal with the supernatural elements surrounding Shane. As of this recording, there is no release date for the game.
Orson? What the f?
In at 8, the Blackout Club. The Blackout Club is an upcoming co-op game focusing on you and your teenage friends uncovering the mysteries of a small town. The friends begin to experience blackouts and wake up in various locations with no memories of what occurred. As the players, you must band together with your fellow friends and gather evidence as to what's going on in your town, and who or what is causing the blackouts. Will the police believe you? Will your family? With enough evidence, maybe so. The game is set to be released in 2019. In at 7, Days Gone. Days Gone is a post-apocalyptic game, and as the player you will take on the role of Deacon St. John, a former bounty hunter. 2 years after a global pandemic which killed most of humanity, you're forced to use Deacon's particular set of skills to keep him alive in a world completely turned on its head, and run rampant with freakers, zombie-like creatures that don't seem to be slowing down. The game also offers a dynamic weather system as well as day and night cycles, so be mindful of the time of day. Freakers tend to gain speed at night. Days Gone is set to be released on February 22nd, 2019.
Oh yeah. Come and get it. Dinner time.
In at 6, Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu follows the character of Edward Pierce, a private investigator who must research the mysterious murder of Sarah Hawkins in Darkwater Island. As a semi-open world game, the world you explore adopts many Lovecraftian themes and even hints at the reveal of Cthulhu itself. The game is set to be released on October 30th, 2018.
There's yawning. The gods pity the man who in his carelessness can remain sane today.
In at 5, Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 was the much needed remake we also desperately wanted. While the remake has been floating around the cosmos for a little while now, it was at E3 2018 that we finally got a first look at the game. We can all safely say we were not disappointed. Judging from the trailer, the game will follow a lot of the original plot points, except this time with a much needed visual overhaul. Not only do we have a pretty screen to look at, we also have the updated camera visuals and will no longer be bound to the stuck camera style. Now players will be able to look over their shoulders, which will surely aid in an even more terrifying experience. Resident Evil 2 is set to be released on January 25th, 2019.
Nobody cares about that. They want to know about the G virus.
What exactly are you looking for?
More info on the people responsible for this mess.
In at 4, Overkill's The Walking Dead. A new first-person shooter with cooperative capabilities, The Walking Dead from Overkill Software focuses on 4 main characters with differing skills and abilities, forcing players to work together to take down the zombies that have overrun the post-apocalyptic environment. The game is set to be released November 6th of this year. In at 3, Man of Medan. From the creators of Until Dawn, Man of Medan is a choose-your-own-adventure game that follows the story of 4 young Americans on a diving trip who are abruptly kidnapped and forced to escape a ghostly ship. Much like Until Dawn, Man of Medan doesn't just focus on one protagonist, but instead all 4 of them, and your events throughout the game will affect their fate. So, that being said, one wrong move and you could end the game with 0 survivors. However, don't feel discouraged. It is possible to have all 4 characters survive the night, but be cautious, not every character is redeemable. One negative feature is the length. Man of Medan is set to have just 5 to 6 playable hours, unlike Until Dawn's 9 to 10. But if your first playthrough doesn't give you everything you want, you can immediately hop on again and give it another go without feeling like you've thrown away a week of your life. Man of Medan is set to be released in 2019.
Alex? Julia! Guys!
In at 2, Scorn. Scorn is arguably the most horrific game on our list. Players get tossed into a hellish world filled with grotesque characters and are forced to complete tasks and unlock secrets along the way. However, what makes this game unique compared to others on our list is that it refuses to hold your hand. There are no cutscenes to take you out of the nightmare you're trapped in, and the title will not have a HUD display. To quote GameRanks, everything in the world is living, and as players progress through the game, new areas will open up. Yep, I'm officially terrified. Scorn is set to be released this month. And finally, in at number 1, Visage. Labelled as the spiritual successor to PT, aka the teaser game that was set to be the new addition to the Silent Hill franchise before being quickly scrapped, which I'm still very much bitter about, Visage takes place in a similar setting to PT. Players must explore an unknown house, discovering its history and learning about the families that once lived there and their tragic pasts. Visage has no specific release date, but it is due to come out at some point this year. Well, there we have it, guys. Which game are you most excited for? Were there some you think should have been on our list? Leave us a comment below and perhaps we'll do a part 2. And while you're down there, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you're a fan of horror games, and smash that subscribe button if you want more. If you want to continue watching more gaming vids, make sure to click on that playlist floating above. And until next time, see you later.